Hello YouTubers, how are you today? This is your driver Scott. So today I want to tell you a story. It's if you're this passenger, it's not funny. I don't know if you're going to find it funny from where you're sitting now, but it is how I canceled on a guy twice. Okay, this happened last year, and here's what happened. I get the request, and it was either a pool or a lift line, I forget, but I pull in. And I let the person know I'm here. I either texted them or I tapped the lift thing confirming my arrival. And it only gives, when it's a lift line or an Uber pool, you only get 2 minutes to come out as a passenger. Okay, as a driver, for regular Uber X or for regular Lyft, it's a 5-minute wait. I wait 5 minutes. That's kind of what I was told. Even though sometimes, I see the Uber thing at the bottom saying you may drive off, and I've only been there for 2 minutes. But if it's Uber X, I wait 5 minutes. If it's regular Lyft, I wait 5 minutes. But for the pool and the lift line, I move on. Unless the passenger has gotten a hold of me and said, listen, I'll be right out. I'll wait a couple of minutes, I don't care. But for the most part, when it's a Lyft or Uber pool, I cancel and I move on. So I did that. The 2 minutes ran out. I canceled and I start driving away. And at the end of the block, I was towards the end of the block. I was only a couple of houses in. I come to the stop sign and I stop. And I hear this tapping on my window. I turn around and there's a guy who tried to get in the car. And I go, I already canceled. I said, go ahead and order another Lyft. It's canceled. And he goes, okay. So I could see him on his phone. And I immediately turned off my Lyft app. And the reason I turned off the Lyft app is because, I just canceled on the guy. I made him run a couple of blocks, not a couple of blocks, down to the end of the block. And I just canceled on him. Now, I was doing what I was supposed to, but I can't really rely on people going, yeah, my bad, because not everybody does that. Some people are like, you canceled on me. I was right there. You saw me and you canceled anyway, which I didn't say it. I canceled it. There was no one at the door, and then I drove off. So now he may have caught it later. I don't know. But in either case, I didn't want the guy in my car at this point because I just canceled on him. So I turned off the Lyft. And I turn the corner, and I get to the road that's going to get me on the highway. And this road, it's a light, which is a short light for us to get onto the highway. And unfortunately, there were a lot of cars there because it was like in the morning. It was almost 8 or a little bit after 8, somewhere around there. So there was early morning traffic. So I'm waiting there. And I have the Uber line on, and I see behind me there's also a Lyft guy. I can see the sticker in his window. So I'm thinking, all right, so if the guy did the request, by now, surely somebody would have picked him up already, right? So I turn on my Lyft app. Almost as soon as I turn on the Lyft app, I get an Uber request. I go, okay, so I accept the Uber request, I turn off the Lyft line, and I do a U-turn. Finally get through this traffic and do a U-turn. And I see that I'm heading down the block I just came from. So I look, and I see it's the same house, the same guy. And I canceled again after I accepted it. And I felt bad. I know this guy needed to get to work. But at this point, I didn't want my ratings to drop any further. And it wasn't my fault that it was canceled the first time, but I didn't know how this guy was going to act once he got into my car. Yeah, you're the guy that canceled on me, right? Right? So I just canceled him. I turned off both apps and I drove away. I waited until I was on the highway and long gone before I turned it back on again. Now, I sit here and laugh at that, but I'm sure it's not funny for that guy. I'm sure neither Lyft nor Uber want to hear this. But that was the case. I wasn't going to let the guy in my car at this point. I think the problem is he should have been ready to go once he ordered the car. Even if once the car gets there, you've only got 2 minutes to get out there. So sometimes the cars are 10 minutes away. I get that, and you don't want to be sitting around twiddling your thumb for 10 minutes. So I get that, but also understand that once the car gets there, it could be nearby. And once the car gets there, you've only got 2 minutes. I don't remember how long it took me to get to his house, but it wasn't 2 minutes. I can tell you that right now. But he really should have been ready, or at least not take longer than 2 minutes to get out the door. That kind of ready. Do you know what I'm saying? You're at the point where you're doing stuff and you're not 2 minutes away and ready to go. Now, I have had instances where I was out there waiting, and not this time, another time, and this lady goes, "I'll be right out." So I go, okay. And I don't know how other drivers handle it, but for me, from that point, the clock restarts. So if it's a Lyft line or an Uber pool, and the lady goes, "I'll be right out," I start my countdown from that point where I made contact with her for the 2 minutes. A little different if it's Uber X. I'm not going to wait around for 10 minutes. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I'm just not going to do it. But what I will do is I'll go past the 5 minutes, a couple of minutes past the 5 minutes, and then I'll move on if it's wrong. But and the reason drivers are doing this is that you're not getting paid for standing there waiting. I know they try to make it sound like you are getting paid for it, and wait time is included in the ride, but you're talking like 18 cents a minute. I mean, seriously, think about it. That's like nothing. You have to wait an awful long time for it to be any kind of money. You're burning probably that much in gas just sitting there idly. Who knows? I never calculated it, but it's like nothing. It's maybe 14 cents, 18 cents, somewhere in that range. But I have had a lady tell me that, and then I reset the clock in my mind, not according to the app, because the app can't control it. But when she came out, she said that just as I pulled up, her daughter broke a dish, and she had to clean up that glass. She couldn't leave the glass on the floor. It's understandable. Things happen. So I get it. So you call the guy, and the driver shows up, and oh my God, you're not ready yet. Stick your head out the door. Say, "I'll be right there. Hold on." And I think most drivers are going to wait for that 30 seconds, minute, or whatever it's going to take for you to finish up what you need to do. But this guy, nothing. And then when I canceled, he tries to get in the car after I already canceled, and then he requested an Uber, and I accepted it, and I started heading there, and I go, whoa. I'm not getting him back in my car. So from my point of view, it was a little funny. I felt bad. I did feel bad for the guy, really. Even to this day, telling you the story, I feel bad for that guy. But it was a funny story, nevertheless. And I wasn't going to let him in my car. I'm sorry. Not at that point. Not after I did what I did. So anyway, I hope you liked this story. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If you want to yell at me, I'll take it. I don't think it was really my fault. I think from my point of view, you kind of understand that. But if you want to yell at me, go ahead. I'll take it. I don't care. But there's also descriptions below. If you want to sit there and drive for Lyft or Uber, you can. You can just fill out the links and start the process. There's also, if you're not a passenger for either Lyft or Uber, you can join below, the links below. You can do that too as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you got as much as a kick out of it. We all feel bad for the guy because of what happened. But hopefully you liked it, and it was a funny story. And this is your driver, Scott, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.